Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and for children with bad parents. Adult language will be used, and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On today's episode is me, Tyler, and
me, Jarrett.
And
Ethan, who
Yay.
is me.
Who is me? Okay, you know what? In a roundabout way, we
there.
all said the same thing,
That's right.
even if it wasn't the same thing. So today's episode is going to be about both Critical Role and the animated series Legend of Vox Machina. We're kind of bunching them together.
Just real quick, what is Critical Role?
A D&D game by a ton of voice actors.
Nerdy ass voice actors, but yeah.
Yeah, nerdy. Well, I mean, if they're playing D&D, that's kind of a given, but
I'm just saying, I knew what it was, but I'm just saying for
yeah.
reference.
That's what he says every opening. Bunch of very nerdy ass voice actors.
Yeah, but again, if you're playing D&D,
It's not true. You cannot be a nerd.
eh.
It's possible.
I feel like it's not, but if you're going as far to play D&D, you're pretty nerdy. But they are above and beyond nerdy,
Sure.
I would say. So just to name off the people of Critical Role, Matthew Mercer's the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Willingham is a voice actor. He's the deep-voiced one.
Yes.
As long as you're not listening to Season 3.
Campaign 3, yep.
Campaign 3, that's the correct way to say that.
Yep.
Because he made his voice really kind of high-pitched for that one. Yeah. As high-pitched as Travis Willingham can. Laura Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Marisha. Is it Marisha?
Ray. Yeah, Mercer.
Okay. I'm going to butcher most of these names because I don't know them. Marisha Ray. Sam Riegel.
Liam O'Brien.
Liam O'Brien. Taliesin.
Taliesin.
I want to say Taliesin every time.
Taliesin Jaffe.
Yeah, there you go. I'm missing somebody.
And BAFTA award-winning Ashley Johnson.
Oh yeah, it's because like whenever you watch,
Part of her legal name now. BAFTA award-winning.
This guy.
So you want to know why I forget about her? Because every Critical Role episode that I've actually like watched,
She's Mrs. Most of one, most of two.
yeah, she's hardly in them.
Fucking Blind Spot. That's where she's at. She's in New York filming Blind Spot for all that
Yep.
bullshit.
So, just to jump into our questions / script, our very very short script. 5 bullet points here.
Oh, we're gonna expound upon them bitches, but yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you find out about Critical Role? Let's start with the magical dice. Jarrett.
I don't.
Oddly enough, what the word I just said right before you're going to start talking is how I found out about Critical Role. I said Jarrett.
Oh yeah, that is true. I can't actually remember. I feel like it was through the YouTube algorithm.
Well, I'm sure you were looking up D&D stuff, and then it led you to Critical
had
Role.
watched Acquisitions Incorporated,
Yeah.
and they only did like an episode every 4 or 5 months, something like that, at a PAX
The PAX
convention.
East,
Yeah,
and then they did PAX West, and they started doing PAX South.
yeah.
But
At every PAX convention they did that. But then it was like, here's another thing, another D&D.
well, it's sort of the same premise
It's
as it's people who are moderately famous with a certain community, playing D&D in a public setting that is recorded.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's how I found out. And then I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was somewhere around the start of the Briarwood arc. So I was around the mid-20s is when I started.
Gotcha.
So I've been there from not day one, but we'll say day one-ish.
Ish.
Day one-ish.
And then it's me. So I found out. I've already said it. I found out from Jarrett.
Yes.
It was. I knew we had watched. I had watched Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah.
My brain shut off for a second, and I never got that algorithm where it was like suggesting that. Which maybe I wasn't watching as much D&D stuff on YouTube. But and then Jarrett was like, "Hey, we've watched Acquisitions Incorporated. You should watch this too. And I watched a handful of episodes. I have a problem with the length of the episodes because I'm not very good at putting it on in the background. Because like if I'm doing something else and I'm focused on that, I will completely ignore the video and everything going on in the video. So I can't do both. Like it just doesn't work for me for some reason.
I am able to do both.
I'm
I
not.
watch most episodes.
The only thing I've been able to play, I played a PGA Tour game. So I was playing like just golf and you didn't really have to focus while you were playing it because it's not like it's super fast paced or anything like that. I was able to watch videos doing that, but anything else, no, couldn't do it. So Ethan, you're the last up.
Same way Jared did. It was mostly, I don't know if it was through one of us telling the other about Critical Role or what happened there, or he could have told me about it, but it was the same thing. We had watched Acquisitions together at our friend's house, and then it was kind of like a given for the going into Critical Role because, well, Acquisitions is artists and producers for that certain environment of like nerdy D&D type stuff. And then it was run by Perkins, Chris Perkins, who is the creative director.
Yes, that sounds right.
For Wizards of the Coast. So he has a lot to do with D&D itself, like as a company.
Yeah, and I think he was the rules designer on 4E, I think.
I think so. I don't remember for sure.
That's a bad look, but
that was interesting. And then we moved into Critical Role, and then I was really mad at Matthew Mercer because he's so good at DMing.
Yeah, it makes you feel inadequate most of the time.
But I mean, at the same time, I understand. So I don't actually watch it. I've watched a lot of it, but it makes me so mad because I can't be that good. Yeah. But it's like, it's, if you watch it, I do highly suggest that you watch it because he is really good. The players are really good.
They're very good at role playing.
They're really good at role playing. It's a good place to learn how to role play a little bit better, but it's like watching sports.
Yeah,
don't say I'm bad at football because I'm not a professional football player.
Yeah.
These are professional actors. You're not going to role play them.
No. Not to mention, like, the amount of works that they're in, they have so much behind them that they can pull from. I mean, fuck, you can listen to any video game or animated TV show and just about find one of those 8.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, especially things like if you play like big name video games, you're going to find these guys like World of Warcraft is a big one for them because like they're all in there somewhere and you can hear them, you can recognize them.
Or your animes, most of your animes is from them. They don't do as many more, but like your mid 2000s animes.
Yeah. It's probably more so where they got their start.
Yeah. Like, I know Laura and Travis both worked at Funimation in Texas where they lived. So they were in Dragon Ball Z, or she was. She's Kid Trunks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I knew that.
Always blows my mind.
It always blows my mind that, like, for the kid versions, it's always a female.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't blow my mind because it makes sense.
Yeah, because you need somebody whose voice isn't going to change.
Yeah, you can't, like, pick you can't pick a kid to do it because they're not going to do it as well as an adult would do it.
But their voice is going to change most likely.
Yeah. And so let's just move on to the next thing. How much, if any, have you watched? I've already said mine. It's very minimal, like probably 10 episodes.
You get the TikTok clips.
I don't even get the TikTok clips. I just watch like compiled highlights from characters on YouTube. And it'll be like 30 minutes. And I'll just sit there and watch the highlights.
Yeah.
I've probably watched about 15, 20, somewhere in there.
Gotcha.
Episodes?
Yeah.
I am currently 5 episodes, maybe 6 episodes behind on Campaign 3. Everything else I've at least watched once. Most likely I've watched / listened to it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I would just put it on as a podcast while I was at work and just
listen to it.
It's very easy to just keep it going.
And then next up is which campaign should new people start with? Because obviously they have 3 campaigns. It to me, this one kind of depends on if you want to watch Vox Machina. Because if you watch Vox Machina, I know they've changed things and things like that, but I feel like I'm getting the gist of the story without having to spend.
You could make that argument one way or the other for watching those. Like, if you want to start with Briarwood, I mean, you'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you get like 90% of the good bits. Of the important stuff and like your good bits. There's obviously stuff that they have to cut out or have moved or can't use.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's all in there in some form or fashion. To me, it does depend. If you're getting into it because you're watching Legend of Vox Machina, sure, go ahead and watch / listen to Campaign 1. I'll just warn you, the first like 20 episodes, their audio is awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's really bad.
You just kind of have to like
truck through
it. Because once they get around the start of the Briarwood arc, I mean, or you can, a lot of people will just say start at the Briarwood arc.
Well, they had no idea it would take off like it did. Like, that's just
it was
one of those
just the thing like, hey, we should try this and see what happens. And then next thing you know.
Yeah. If you just like the people, you know, watch Campaign 2 because it's completely done. You can maybe get it done by the time Adventures of Mighty 9 comes out. Who knows?
Probably not.
It's 140 episodes.
That are 4 hours apiece.
Yeah. Or if you're wanting to watch the live games every week, you can catch up with Campaign 3.
That's what I would really suggest.
Yeah. There's 3 different kind of points. Like, what do you want?
I would suggest just catching up on 3 and then going from there. And if you want to go back, you can decide that if you like listening to them. But it is kind of like, it's like the dream campaign because you've got all these fantastic people and the best DM, and it's like the dream. So it's really interesting to watch if you're into D&D.
Yeah. And I feel like Campaign 3 it's gonna have the highest audio. It's gonna have the highest audio quality.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
And
but
video,
like,
anytime.
It's the point where you don't really
you don't notice
between Campaign 2 and Campaign 3.
They do a lot less of the in between talking between themselves by 3. I think they do some, but it's not as bad as it was at the beginning of 1.
You mean like crosstalk at the table? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the crosstalk at the table goes.
Well, once they get better mics that weren't picking up, like they're able to like whisper actually, and like if they have to crosstalk, they'll just like whisper or text or
lean away and go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure even that picked up some, but not much.
It did a little bit.
Yeah.
So basically, start wherever the fuck you want. Is what we got out of the gist of that. It depends on what you're looking for.
You have to kind of figure out what you want.
Yeah. And then favorite characters from, I'm assuming all 3 campaigns is what we're doing. We're doing
characters, period.
D&D campaigns.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I am terrible at names. So
bring them on.
It's Travis's character.
In?
Well, obviously
in Campaign 3?
Grog is one of mine, but yes, it's Chetney. Chetney is his name. I fucking love Chetney.
Well, it's all of Travis's characters, really. It's you know.
I didn't care that much about Fjord.
It's Fjord, but yeah.
I just don't care that much about Fjord.
Really?
Now, granted, maybe I haven't seen as many clips about him because that's where I'm getting all my stuff from is just from clips because, like I said, I haven't watched all of it. The other one that I really like is Fresh Cut Grass.
FCG.
And I only like that one because of the fucking introduction.
The introduction is an all-time introduction.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
So the introduction is where he's saying
automaton character.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's like, oh yeah, she named me after all the stuff that she loved, all the smells that she loved. There's fresh cut grass. He says like a few other
apple pie. I think is one of them.
Warm apple pie, pussy, and he just says it so nonchalant.
Just goes straight through it.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Keeps going.
And they
one by one, you watch it one by one. Each of them fucking breaks, except for Ashley. Ashley's the only one that doesn't break, but everybody else at the fucking table breaks.
Yeah, and they're like trying to hold their face away from the microphone because they're laughing so fucking much, and I just love that. I know nothing else about that character. That's the only clip I've seen from him, and fuck, is it perfect?
It's pretty good.
And that's the beauty of Sam Riegel.
Sam Riegel is a mad genius,
and I feel like Travis and Sam bring this both seriousness at times,
Sure.
but stupid jokes the most,
Definitely.
and I love that.
It's a good balance.
Yeah.
It's a really good
If you
balance.
want a good compilation, look up Ford and Not.
Ford and Not. Okay.
It's from Campaign 2.
Yeah, that's Sam and Travis.
so good. It's just them sniping at each other. The whole. It's like a
believe it.
40-minute compilation. It's fucking great.
The fucking one about Chetney and Robbie's character.
Dorian.
Yeah, Dorian. It's fucking great.
Oh, it's so good.
Because they're just fucking.
I haven't seen this one.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's because it's Travis just in his old man voice, and Dorian's trying to be like kind of helpful, and it's just basically "fuck you" the whole time.
It's so good.
That was a terrible Chetney impersonation, by the way.
Fuck you. That's also bad, but
Well, we're not Travis.
I'm
It's
not
fine.
Travis.
All right, so who's gonna tell us their favorite characters next? Ethan.
Everyone likes Scanlan, but I really like Grog. It speaks to me. I like playing those types of big dumb characters, so
It makes me want to play it. Like,
Yeah.
and I've said this
Exactly.
several times on the podcast. I never get to play a barbarian,
yeah.
and it makes me just want to play a fucking barbarian so much.
I really like playing big dumb characters. I don't know what that it's. I like playing the opposite of what I am. I'm a big guy, but I'm not dumb. But I mean,
Well, see, I'm the
Big
opposite.
isn't muscular though.
yeah, big and muscular. I'm not big and muscular.
Yeah.
Flabby, but
I am dumb. I can pull this off with ease.
yeah.
You did.
But it won't be. It won't be funny. It'd be sad.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, anybody else that sticks out?
Kind of the opposite of you. Like what little I've seen of Fjordan.
You love.
Oh, I really
It's
like
so
it.
good.
It's right up my alley. So
then
Do
Jared.
you want it by campaign or by player?
Just
or
do. I don't care. Are you gonna name off a fucking player from every one?
I could.
You gonna give a favorite character of every player?
Yeah, I could.
I don't need that much.
Okay.
Just who's your favorites?
Vax, Grog, Ford.
For Jordan.
Yeah.
Air for Jordan.
It's pretty good.
terrible.
That made me so happy.
Bo and Caleb.
Gotcha. So nobody from 3?
I'm not digging campaign 3 as much as I had. Like, it's just it's been hard for me. It's why I'm behind. It's hard for me to get into this campaign. I don't know what it is. Don't know.
It's probably the change in some of the people.
No, it's nothing to do with that.
Really?
It's just it's something about the story. It may be because they're not really like doing any sort of like story.
Oh, they're just kind
They're
of.
playing like we do, where they're just kind of like fucking traveling around. They haven't really hit on a big narrative arc yet. I mean, they've touched on something a little bit, but
That's weird for Mercer.
He probably
it's
ran
more
out
the
of
play-
ideas
the-
for a minute.
The players are just kind of like, eh.
Tangent.
Matt likes to have stuff going on in the background and then be like, dragons attack, bitch.
I did like Joe.
And Janello?
Yeah, I liked his character only because of the fucking whenever he bolts scene.
Oh, it's so good.
Whenever he takes the hand of Vecna, just fucking throws it on and teleports out. Oh, it's so good.
Yep. Good old Archon the Cruel.
Archon, that's his name.
Yeah.
I can't remember names for shit. It honestly, for the longest time, I mixed up Vax and Vex.
That's fine.
I don't know why.
I mean, you must not have seen the episodes where they have Laura and Liam have the shirts on that point to each other that says, one says, I'm Vax, one says, I'm Vex, and they point at the other one.
I did not get
They
that far.
are so good.
I did not get that far into it.
It's like, Matt does it, like, still. Episode, like, 112.
Well, when you fucking-
we're at the end of the fucking campaign. He still says the wrong name.
Well, whenever you
Well, I mean,
change
we've
one
all-
letter,
We've all been there. Like we've had we can't remember all of everybody's characters' names.
You know the worst part? They have gotten them mixed up before when they're talking about them. They'll say the wrong one. They're like, I meant the other one.
it's easy to do.
Yeah. There's a reason why Vax calls Vex sister
All the time?
95% of the time. It's so
'Cause he
Liam
can't
didn't
remember.
have to say it. He can just go, sister.
Sister.
They're both like my two favorite players, though.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not big on her character
In
the first.
Oh yeah, Vex is kind of a
Well, I mean,
you either like it or you don't.
I don't. I don't know. I don't like the
Surprised none of us
character.
said Percy.
Percy's good. He's
I feel like he looked more likable in the show.
His character development does like big peak Briarwood arc. Not a whole lot for a long time.
Big peak, not
Even a little big peak, just a small peak, and then no real character development.
Gotcha.
It's kind of, I'm assuming it's a problem that people have with
it's
Vex.
really good in the Briarwood arc,
Yeah.
and then it fizzles.
Vex has no character arc until the Fey Realm. It gets only the smallest bit of character development.
Yeah.
Where she goes from a poor orphan, or not an orphan, semi-orphan. Her dad doesn't love
Poor
her.
abducted child.
To
Neither
noble.
does mine. Grow up.
Yeah. to noble.
What are we going to talk about today?
It'll be all right.
Tyler's emotional damage.
I'm not too bothered by it.
It's just the emotional damage. I didn't say you were bothered by it. It's just the emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
God damn it. No, I really don't give a flying fuck about it. There is no emotional damage there.
And how does that make you feel?
This is not a therapy session.
It could be.
It could be. I'll have to get closer to the microphone.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Because then you're going to try to like charge me $200 or something for
more than
5
that,
minutes.
I'll take it.
It's like $500 an hour.
I'll even
Fuck
give you a
that.
deal.
Something like that. I don't know.
175.
No.
Yeah.
So now that we've discussed that and my apparent emotional issues, we're going to jump into the Legend of Vox Machina Season 1. So if you don't know, this is the TV show that has been animated based off of the story of Campaign 1. Starting, they don't start at, do they start at the Briarwood arc?
No, they
It's
start.
like just a hair before.
Start at the
first,
end of,
the first two episodes were a pre-stream adventure that they did.
Gotcha.
That happened. I don't know. That would have been like almost 10 years ago, probably. That they wanted to animate. That's how the whole Kickstarter. That's what the whole thing was about. It was going to be originally one episode, like 1 hour long episode of this
Basically
pre-stream
how,
adventure.
Yeah, how Vox Machina became Vox Machina.
Kinda, yeah. It then raised $11 million, and they were like, "Fuck it,"
Let's make a whole season.
a whole season Briarwood arc, which is a lot of people's favorite arc. It's understandable. It's fucking cool. It's really good.
To be honest, I'm assuming season 2 is Chroma Conclave arc, correct?
2 and 3.
Okay, I knew 3 was, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if the entirety of season 2 was Chroma Conclave. I've liked it better than the first.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I think people like the original. The Chroma Conclave arc in the show is almost 50 episodes.
Gotcha.
So it's a longer arc. It's a lot of a slog. The Briarwood arc's like 10 or 15 episodes. It's not that bad.
It almost seemed rushed in the show. Like, Briarwood arc seemed rushed in the show.
It was also their dip into the waters. They're putting their toe in the waters of like adapting
Yeah.
this thing that they did.
Adapting 40 hours of
Yeah.
content into...
And because it's a lot more of an investment
Yeah.
than making a D&D podcast,
Yeah.
I feel like, again, they didn't know how well it would take off.
You should go watch their watch party things because they kind of talk about stuff like this, where they talk about like, especially the campaign 2 one they had, or the season 2 one, they talked about how in season 1 they were a lot more hesitant to change, to deviate from canon, I should say, in certain ways, and then in season 2 that they have to make it a better story, to make it flow better. They're more willing to
change things
change
that happened.
things, move things around, make it fit
I don't know.
better.
I like the season 1 because they did stick to it, and it felt more like it was developed straight from
The content.
the content, which I liked. And it's not that I liked season 1 any better than season 2. It just, I liked the feel of it a lot. It was different. It had a whole different feel because it was developed straight from the content. It wasn't overproduced or anything like that, which maybe season 2 is a little bit overproduced, but it was still really enjoyable. It might be better in general for the general audience.
Yeah.
I think.
Which is kind of what they're more worried about is like
Yeah, and that's really understandable.
They're
Making
wanting
it-
people to pick it up that
don't watch it.
don't watch Critical Role.
Yeah, because even though there's probably a couple 100,000 people that watch Critical Role, that's not enough really to justify.
3 seasons and a second show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Vox Machina has way more.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're getting way more people interested in it.
Yeah. So changes from the streams for season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I know we kind of hit on it. Did they change too much? Or did they change anything? I don't know what they did and didn't because I didn't.
I'm trying to go through it like episode by episode. They changed like minor things. Like obviously they have to like consolidate characters because we can't have 100 NPCs.
Yeah.
We have to consolidate these. They just kind of change more like the relationships. Like in the stream, Vox Machina is made part of the Council of Tidori before the stream starts. So you start the stream and they are part of the council already.
Gotcha. So like episode 1 and 2, they're
already.
yeah.
They already
Before
know-
episode,
yeah.
they've already done episode 1 and 2 before the stream starts.
Yeah, but they're already like, it's been like a year since that happened or something like that, right?
Gotcha.
So they already know like Uriel and Alora and Gilmore. So like all those relationships are pre-existing in the show. Only Gilmore's pre-existing relationship, I should say, I guess. So you're kind of seeing them meet these characters and develop these relationships.
And they don't do a very good job of that in the show.
I can understand that's where it's kind of like a bit rushed.
Yeah, because it's definitely, you can see that it's rushed because they go from, like, it's from season 1 to season 2, which I don't know how much time it even said there was in between season 1 and season 2.
None.
There was none. It just, that's right, because the end of
with the
season
Dragon Tech,
yeah,
it
that's
begins
right.
with the Dragon Tech.
That's right.
It is
Yeah.
flush.
And so they seem very attached to the council in season 2, even though they barely know them.
Yeah, that's part of
in
it.
timeline wise.
Sure.
But whenever you look at the live stream, they've known them for
Years.
yeah.
Like, I don't think they have a magic carpet in the show, but they got a magic carpet from Alora. They stole it from her,
Solid.
but she was just fine with it. They're like, so they have these years upon of history with these characters. I'm trying to think of actual differences. Dominic Moynihan's character doesn't exist, if I remember correctly. The dwarf.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist. Or if he does, it's just like as a nameless,
Character.
faceless NPC. Yeah, that doesn't have any emotional weight. Didn't know Percy at all.
Gotcha.
Keeper Yenin was a dude in the stream. Trying to think. That's most of the original changes that I can think of from season 1.
So
Like I said, they were very hesitant to really change things.
and that's understandable. I feel like don't change too much your first season, and you'll get your core people that
Yeah.
watch the live stream wanting to watch the show because they're like, oh, it's going to be just like the show. We're going to cut out all the nonsense and leave the good parts.
I think they did a pretty good balance between the two of changing things and then keeping things canonical.
Yeah.
Just because it was entertaining for one, it was super entertaining.
It really was.
But from what I remember from the Briarwood, it just didn't change that much.
Like I said, I can't.
There was a little, like you said, little bitty things, but that's
and I
fine.
say a change. It's like there probably were a lot more changes in like adaptation that I don't really count because it's just kind of like you kind of have to like change stuff like
But, I
in terms
mean,
of like
that-
dialogue and stuff, right?
Yeah, where you cut
But, like,
stuff out or change what
the
they
meat
said.
of the meat of a scene is essentially the same, right? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what they did with like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
right? So those are not direct,
no,
like from the book things, and that's fine. That's fine because they did a really good job of sticking to the, what do you call it?
story beats.
The story beats. They stuck to the character of the entire
Mm-hmm.
story, like the feeling of it was the same. Every scene that they had was essentially the same sort of personality that Tolkien had brought to the world. That they
Tone?
just,
The tone.
Yeah, that's it. The tone was the same for like every scene, even though they changed some things. It was the same tone,
Yeah.
which I think is what they achieved with Vox Machina as
I'd say
well.
they definitely did.
Yeah.
And that's really all the changes for season 1.
That I can remember off the top of my head if there was probably more that was much smaller that don't really matter.
Yeah. And then favorite characters from season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're talking non-player characters.
No, the player, like, they can
It
be.
can be any of them.
I think everyone's favorite is Scanlan from season 1.
Yeah.
Pretty
I mean,
hands down.
You
Scanlan.
start off, your first interaction with Scanlan is fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Because everybody's in a bar fight and he's upstairs fucking. Trying to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Who doesn't like animated tits?
exactly. I'm sure there's somebody that doesn't like him. But I mean,
There probably is.
Percy in season 1, which again, we talked about. The Briarwood arc is kind of his.
He is essentially the main character of that arc.
Yeah.
It is his arc, his hometown. It's all about him.
Yeah. And his, just the way they animated it. It looks great.
I do love. I'm sure he gets it. I know he gets one in season 2, but he has like the classic anime, like push the glass up and the lenses are white.
Yeah.
Fucking, it popped me so hard whenever he did that because I was like, ha, because it doesn't really fit the animation style, I would say, but it's like a throwback to their roots in anime.
Yeah.
That I'm like, aha.
Yep.
I think Pike at the beginning, like in the first half, was really kind of dull, but she got more interesting as it went along. But I don't know if that whole arc really was necessary.
Yes and no.
I mean, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because she got more powerful, I understand.
Well, it's
but-
important to show her development as well.
Yeah, but I mean, they should have done it earlier on in different ways, and I think that they missed out on that. Which, as having DM'd, I know you can't focus on everybody all the time. I mean, you can kind of focus on the group a little bit, but like individual
Individuals,
people
you have
get their moments in the spotlight, and so I understand that. But I think in the show they could have done that a little bit better because at the beginning she was just kind of like the healer.
Yeah. Which, cleric.
I mean, yeah.
Me.
Don't-
Kind of.
Yeah, don't be a healer.
And then our favorite scenes from the show. We're going to roll the dice for this one.
I mean, I didn't get to say my favorite characters.
I thought you did.
Nope.
Well, then say your favorite character.
Didn't say a word.
And say your favorite character.
I was just gonna say how I like how they've changed, like differently, like differences from the stream to the show. Like, I think they really improved Keyleth's character arc overall. Like, she's a much more relatable character now in the show. I don't know if it's just because that's a really hard fucking character arc to pull off in role play and live stream. Of like the dorky, unsure of yourself, hesitant leader. But like, I feel like they really made it work in the show.
It's really good in the show.
Like, they made her much more likable because
Like you said, relatable because
relatable.
she's not great at everything,
yeah.
which is, I think, a really key thing in role play is not being good at everything.
Yeah.
Which in D&D is sometimes hard to do, especially with roles.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll just roll great.
Yeah.
I really like
repeatedly.
her change. I really like Vax is one of my favorite characters, but I really like the adaptation that they did where he's a lot more aloof, I would guess with the right word, except for Keyleth. Like, he doesn't really give a shit about anybody except for his sister. And then he just crushes on Keyleth, like out of nowhere kind of.
Yeah, it is absolutely out
He's
of
into
nowhere.
antlers.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's in antlers. I mean, it's
To each their own, I
That
guess.
is literally how crushers usually work, though. You'll just be like, wake up one day and you'll be like, I like you.
It's also how kinks work.
Yeah.
Wake up one day and all of a sudden you're like,
That's definitely-
antlers.
That's
man.
true.
shit, I never noticed feet before. What?
Never looked down. But yeah, I think
I'm not into feet. I just want to throw that out there. And that was the only thing I could think of. I don't know why.
The only kink that you know.
It is.
That
I don't
scene
know why.
in Hot D probably got you.
Real hard.
That's probably why I think of feet.
No, that's not why.
It's just
No, I think it's because of Feet Finder. Because I was literally talking to Sam about Feet Finder. How I need to get her to start one so we can have more money.
What is Feet Finder?
It's where you sell feet pics
Yeah.
to perverts on the internet.
People like feet.
They'll pay you like $5 a picture, basically. It's like OnlyFans, but specifically for your feet.
Does it have to be my feet?
No.
Or preferably not. Okay.
Yeah, those two, I think.
If it was, I would already have one because it would just be my feet. But nobody wants to fucking look at that.
Yeah.
Fucking hobbit feet.
Back on track. I think those two are like my favorite characters that they've changed. Like obviously, I still like Scanlan and Grog. They're like
Top tier.
they are just like the heart of the show. Usually, they make you laugh at the most inopportune times,
Yeah. They really do.
as they did in the show.
And they're not even good people.
No, they're awful people. They're
Yeah, they're
horrible.
awful people.
They're horrible people,
They really are.
especially at this beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Favorite scenes.
Yeah. And you're up first because I already rolled the dice
Yeah.
and it was you. And then you bitched about saying characters. And then you said you didn't say the characters. You just said the changes in the characters.
Well, I said
Bitch.
that they were my favorite changes because I like all of them. But Keyless Kamehameha Sunburst Wave on Silas in the 11th episode, it's fucking top tier.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Fucking Grog holding them much like a certain Saiyan on Saiyan. It just fucking hit me with it.
Yep.
Love it.
It's me. I like them having trouble with the doors. It was
That
fucking
is also
funny
a
to me.
great scene.
That's what I was going to say.
Is it?
Yeah.
Such a good scene that it actually happened in the campaign. They used 4 spells and took damage to get a door open that was literally just locked with a wooden 4x4 on the other side.
Yep.
That's all it was locked with.
And it's fucking great.
So good.
I think that the fact that they put that in there.
Yes, they had to.
It feels like D&D.
Yes.
It feels like something that would happen in D&D.
They do a very good job of showing crit fails without showing crit fails.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's true.
the door. I assume most of those were crit fails, or they just
They
couldn't
were
get
just
it open.
low
'cause
rolls, I think. I don't remember.
Either crit fails or low enough rolls that
Yeah.
it wasn't working.
I just remember everybody at the table was fucking dying when it happened. 'Cause
Yeah.
It took like an hour to get through a fucking door.
Yeah. The other scene that I really like is Grog jumping in the acid butt ass naked.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't help but think, because, he jumps in and he starts screaming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, your skin's burning. Now you've let it inside your mouth and it's burning too. And you got your eyes open and everything is burning. And his constant I can take it.
I can take it.
It's very barbarian. It's so barbarian.
And I love it.
Uh,
Like I said, Barbarian is my dream character. And I fucking.
if you played D&D, maybe you would have played
You
one by
fucking
now.
Showed up, you
fucking mouth.
bitch.
I don't know what you're even doing. Why are we here?
To record a podcast. That's why we're here.
We all know why you're here.
We could be playing D&D right now.
We could, but we're not.
I think that's your end goal. Is like this whole podcast is just a setup so that you are now finally able to play D&D again with us.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it means that I just have to, I've said this before, if it means that we just have to record it and put it on the internet, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It'll be demonetized immediately.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a lot more work on me because I'm going to have to fucking edit the 4 hours that we play and cut out all the stupid, ignorant shit
You'll
that
be
we say.
bleeping all the time.
Yeah, it's
like
just
hit
gonna
that
be
blue
fun.
button. Yeah.
Your favorite scenes, Ethan?
Yes,
is it
your
just the
favorite
door?
scenes.
Well, I mean, like just like it's not even like the funny things, but like the door scene obviously is one of my top ones. Anytime where Scanlan is using the hand and it's inappropriately, like it's like that's not how that works.
Yeah, he's
But-
holding everybody up on the hand.
it can't even hold that much weight. Like I don't think it can.
No, probably not. Not that
No,
much.
but you know what? I like that because I like I like Mercer's whole idea of the rule of cool is more important than almost anything else in D&D because it makes everything feel fun. I like that. But him using it on there and they brought it into the show, it's really nice. But I think for serious things, like just the whole scene where they're actually, anytime Percy is dealing with one of the bad guys, it's always so good.
Yeah, if you like your emo boys, Percy is the boy for you.
Oh yeah. You know me and my emo boys.
You missed some letters in the emo. It should have been Demon Boys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Demon, emo.
Possessed by a demon.
You know, it's always entertaining. It feels like a really
Which
good,
seems to be a recurring theme.
like you said, it feels like a really good anime.
Not necessarily demon.
It's like
but
you watch it
possessed.
and there are so many like anime-esque influences in there. If you're a fan of anime, you will like this show because it's like a Western anime. It's like a Western fantasy anime.
pretty much.
It's good.
And then now we get to go on to season 2 and talk about the
dose.
same things.
The same thing.
And then I'm going to add something that isn't on here for season 1 and 2, but we can compile them. So changes from the live stream for season 2.
Oh, there's a lot.
I haven't watched this arc at all for the actual Critical Role podcast.
Okay, let's start off here.
But you mean you hadn't watched the show and I was about to be pissed.
No, I've watched the show.
So them going to Vasselheim, most of like the beginning like episode and first and second episode, roughly the same. Like the dragons still attack. The Uriel dies. Most of the rest of the council escapes through teleporting.
Gotcha.
They still meet up in Gilmore's shop and do that shit.
And
Them
Max
going,
fuck.
yeah.
Again.
But them going to Vasselheim for aid, this is in the show is the first time they went to Vasselheim. In the stream, they had been there before, was already a part of the Slayer's Take. And that's where they met Cash and Zara.
Yeah.
So them going, so they just kind of like reorder stuff and be like, well, instead of hopping back and forth, we'll just move all that stuff to the first time they go there.
And say, you've been here before.
Yeah. And then that the twins had been there before.
Yeah.
And they knew Cash and Zara. So they kind of moved some of that character interaction off screen, like, and just let you fill in the blanks. That's all the same. Cash and Zara are way more antagonistic
In the stream?
in the show.
In the show?
Well, fuck, jeez, if they were more antagonistic in the stream, they'd be villains.
Right?
Yeah. No, in the show,
I didn't know which one.
in the stream, they're like, almost immediately, they're like best friends.
Gotcha.
Especially Vex and Zara. It's very, it's almost immediate.
It does feel weird in the show now because they're so antagonistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously
And then they
so.
just stop.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, and then Vox Machina is just like, oh, they're friends. And like, oh, they released that giant monster on us. It's okay.
But it's okay.
Everything's fine because they gave us a magical item.
Yeah.
And that is kind of how D&D works usually.
Our table.
I think we would have killed them.
Yeah,
and then
oh,
taken
probably.
the magical item.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think
They
that's how most people would have handled that because that's a villain move.
They could have gave it up and we still would have killed them.
Yeah.
Like, you released a monster.
Do you have more? Let's see. Stab.
I'm trying to think of after that. They definitely the Kamal Jory, the male Sphinx.
Yeah.
He's not on.
3 p.m.
That was my Apple Watch.
He's not on the same continent.
I don't know why it decided to tell me it was 3 p.m.
Originally, he's actually back on the continent of Tal'Dorei. He's not on the same continent as Vasselheim. Again, it's one of them things, instead of them having jumping back and forth all the time between continents, because at this point, Keyleth had transport via plant, so they could just
move wherever the fuck they want.
Go wherever the fuck they wanted. They moved him also to the same continent. There's no fight with Umbrasil in that. Like, he doesn't break in and steal Myth Carver.
Yeah. Which changes a large plot point in the show. In the show.
Kind of. The Sphinx is really there for exposition lore dump. It's really all he's there for.
Yeah.
They do not beat him with the power of love. or emotional damage.
It's emotional damage.
I thought that was wonderful, though.
I did
It's
too.
great
It's so good.
adaptation.
It's such a good way to beat somebody too.
I think they just normal combat fight him and
I mean, for
Kill
fuck's
him.
sake, Jarrett let us bring everybody back from saying the power of friendship.
wasn't me. It was Ethan.
That was me.
Were you demon?
Yeah.
That
Oh, that
Ethan.
was the world. That was the WoW campaign. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Power of friendship.
Um,
It was all just a dream.
and the only other big one is they don't split the party. Like Keyleth doesn't lose half the party in
Yeah,
outside of Western or whatever. They're all together throughout the entire. Like everybody goes to Feywild, everybody goes to Western. But again, it's more of like a let's get. And they couldn't really do that and have an A and B story. So they're like, half party goes to Feywild, half party goes here. We can have an A and B story in every episode that gets multiple things done, moves the story along at a faster pace.
yeah.
And it's also less work on the animators because there's not 8 or 7 characters in every shot, at least.
Yeah.
That's
You said they changed the finger up the butt.
they just dimension doored inside the dragon.
Oh, okay. I prefer the mage hand.
Oh,
And
it's so much better.
It's so much better.
Although I will say I have a problem with it because as much as y'all had a problem with the boys, the guy crawling inside the dick,
Oh, yeah.
this one was just as bad. In fact, if not worse, because of all the fucking noises.
This one was worse. The inside the dick was
It's
worse
because
because
it's real. It's like a real thing, like you can imagine.
it wasn't a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the noises.
I don't give a shit about the noise.
There was no noises in the boys that I remember.
I feel like he was definitely moaning when he was touching the
Yeah,
inside.
I
of
don't
his
give a
penis.
shit if somebody's moaning. I hear people moan all the time.
I suggest you go back and watch it again.
It was not.
There was fucking in Vox Machina.
Please don't make
It was-
that noise ever again.
That didn't bother me that much.
It bothered the shit out of me. And I hope it bothered somebody listening enough to comment and complain about
it
the
was
fact
still.
that
You're like, oh no. Yeah, but it also doesn't really work in the stream.
it doesn't.
No.
Like they don't end up inside the dragon.
No, it works, but like it does. Like, nothing really happens because like nothing.
I mean, nothing really happened in the show. It stopped him for all of 3.5
But it did
seconds.
like it did more damage in the show than it did in the stream. I think Mercer had to do like 10 points of damage or something. It was not very much.
I don't think it really did that much damage in the stream.
It's
Or
ripped
not
him.
in the stream, in the show.
It like ripped him open a little bit, like internally.
Yeah, but then he
He had
went to
like
his
a-
cave
he
and
had
was
like a
like, I'm fine.
Well, yeah, that's
He had a
magic.
4-foot hole in him.
Yeah,
In the show.
yeah. That didn't happen.
That's how they got out.
Yeah, I know. After the fact, whenever they first went inside, it was barely anything. And it obviously didn't hurt him enough that he couldn't stop flying because he kept flying while he was going.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, fair.
But then also that the whole like they have to cut themselves out of the dragon. They don't just go out the butthole again. They like cut themselves out of the dragon, and they're like, It was just a mess. It was also that was not like a spur of the moment plan. That was a
That
plan
plan?
they had before.
I believe that 100%. That's a plan that we would make up.
It is.
We should
Like-
have something up.
It was Liam and Sam being like, let's
Yeah,
get inside a dragon.
it was the giant like undead beetle thing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, you did do that.
yeah, you like got underneath it on your death knight, on your undead guy,
Yeah.
and then you put all the little grenades,
Yeah.
the holy grenades up its butt.
It worked, too.
Yeah, it did.
The shit that happens in D&D.
Yeah.
It does happen.
You actually did that twice
Yeah, we did it.
Did it?
to the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because he got brought back.
And then we
right?
did it again.
And then you did it again.
Like, why not work the first time? Oh, okay. Any favorite characters from season 2? Since we've talked about the changes. That differ from season 1.
Sure.
I mean, everybody's still going to love Grog. Everybody's still going to love Scanlan.
I did like, well, you're going to roll for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
He says,
Fuck, it's me.
Yeah.
side bitch.
Side bitch. As far as like other characters besides Grog and Scanlan, there's not really any that I liked Vax more in this season.
This is where he gets his real character development.
Yeah, I did like him more in this season. Vax,
Multi-class.
It was,
Yeah.
She was still meh. She was better, but she was meh to me. Keyleth's development was impressive, but didn't make me care about her any more or less.
Yeah, fair. It was very similar.
Ethan, you're up.
So Percy, I really liked how he handled it in the Feywild.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was a lot more
That's
entertaining. He
lady
got a little bit of comedy to it. That was nice to see that from Percy instead of just all dark brooding.
yeah. He
like,
becomes definitely a
hair
lot
swoop.
more lighter after the entire Briarwood.
Well, yeah,
arc.
he doesn't have a fucking
demon.
He also got the rifle.
Yeah, bad dude.
Yeah, that was cool. That you already mentioned Keyleth, but she got a power boost. But I feel it was very similar, so it wasn't really a lot different
No,
to season 1.
but badass.
Yeah,
the the Archfey.
Garmelie.
Yeah, he was cool.
Oh yeah. Boy, do I have a fucking
do I
have
have-
a campaign for you to watch.
Why do I have 3?
If you like him, watch campaign 2.
Okay.
And Grog. So Grog's story arc, that
real.
was really cool.
It was a
He
very
gets
good story.
real character development.
Yeah, that was
He's not
good.
just the big dumb. He's the guy with the heart.
And,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you cover the rest of them.
Big sad dumb.
Sure.
I don't know why I rolled. You're up.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this is like Grog's big character arc where he gets
My friends.
he realizes the strength is the power of
The power of friendship.
the power of friendship. It's his strength. It's his greatest strength. Vax definitely takes his brooding to a new level. And I like those sad emo boys. So
Yeah, everyone does.
like Vax is like one of my favorite characters for a reason. Like I love his whole arc of dealing with the Raven Queen, making the deal. I love their adaptation of it. It's much more concise and like way more streamlined than it was in the stream.
This is how you handle a warlock patron. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good, just like a baseline for this is really how you should be doing warlock patrons.
I really like Keyleth's power up boosts and the new outfit. I'm like, yeah, she looks like a proper badass now. Also, just for a side note, like Keyleth, the character is based on the Avatar, if you couldn't tell, and Avatar Korra played her mom, which I was like, when I see that, I was like, oh fuck yeah, that's awesome. That's a nice little
It's good. Homage.
homage to the inspiration of the character. Scaling gets some actual real important character development in this of like
Yeah, he tries to fuck his
he tries
daughter.
to fuck his daughter.
It got serious.
Which is very Scanlan.
And realizing that he has a daughter.
Yeah.
well tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his
Outside
underwear.
of that, I really like Thordak. Like I really like the way
He's the one that beats the shit out of Grog and keeps that.
Thordak is
that's
the Cinder King.
Yeah, that's stupid.
The Red
I knew
Dragon.
that.
You're thinking of Kevdak.
Yeah, no, Kevdak was.
Kevdak's-
I'm not even thinking of Kevdak. I'm thinking about the one before that who asked him where he got his strength from.
Earthbreaker Groon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I just like the fact that he beat the shit out of Grog constantly
awesome,
asking
right?
him, "Where do you get your power
That's
from?"
almost exactly how it happened in the stream. So that's those are my favorite characters.
I want to go the opposite direction here. I just think Vax.
You don't like
she
it?
she could have stayed dead.
No, Vex could have stayed dead.
They're the same people. I mean, it's the same name. Why would you do this to us? Vex could have stayed dead, and it wouldn't have changed the arc at all to me.
It wouldn't have changed. It would have changed Vax's arc. It wouldn't have changed her arc really because she wouldn't have an arc. But it would have do very much.
He would have still been an emo boy.
but
in
he
fact,
would
would
not
have
be
probably-
indebted to the Raven Queen, which is very important.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So
I
it
understand
would
the.
have changed his
I understand the function, but I don't think that.
He would have been sad, but he would not have been like seeing this.
I don't think the rest
godly-
of the storyline would have had that big of an like a change to it at all.
On that, you are mostly correct, I guess, except for maybe like the Faerun thing.
It would have been somebody else. It would have been Percy instead. Yeah.
Especially going through being like, I know
Right.
what I'm doing.
Sure.
And then favorite scenes is our last topic. Ethan, what was your favorite scene?
I got pretty hyped whenever Grog got on the back of
Umbrasyl?
Yeah, like whenever he threw the
Yeah,
blood
and
axe.
he's just like fucking him up. Yeah.
It's very barbarian.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would have done that. That's like
I think we all would have done
that's
that.
like when The Rock tried to take off with when you had The Rock try to take off with one of the party members,
Yep.
and I like flew up and like jumped down its throat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done.
Mm-hmm.
And is that your only one of your favorite scenes, or you got any others? Before I roll and cut you off.
Go on.
Jarrett, you're up.
I know Ethan doesn't care about it, but I love the entire last part of the third episode of Vex dying, of the whole flashback sequence. I think it's just very beautifully like
Oh
animated.
no, I thought
shot.
it was good.
Yeah, I know you don't care about her. You're like,
I just don't
Yeah.
think it would have changed anything
Yeah, probably
else.
wouldn't, but
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, even me knowing it's coming, I'm like, I hate it, but I love it.
Gotcha.
I really like episode 5 where they go to Pyra and Keela gets her old power up, and then obviously all of the last 3 episodes are just fucking like
Yeah.
amazing, especially episode 10, the kill box.
Yeah, that one's really good. So two of mine stick out specifically. The kill box where Grog has to fight back. Actually, I guess 3 technically. Whenever Grog has Craven Edge and he's going fucking berserk
Oh, yep.
and ends up stabbing
Stabbing
Pike.
Pike, yep.
That is awesome. What's the other one?
Is that because you hate gnomes?
No. Whenever he actually breaks Craven Edge and then he's just there scrawny as fuck and he can't move. They're having to drag him through the woods. I love that. And there was one part, I can't remember what episode it was in, but it like gave me chills the way that they like done it, and you think I would be able to remember
What
it.
happened?
Pike was sad. I think it was whenever Grog found her great grandpa
Grandpa Wilhelm, yeah.
and saved him, and then Kevdak beat the shit out of him.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
Then she heals him.
yeah, but she was all sad whenever healing or talking about it.
Yeah.
Like the way they acted it out or did it, it was just gave me chills. And that may not have been it. It may have been whenever he was actually fighting Kevdak and something was said. I don't know. I can't remember. I just watched it last night. You think I would, but
The whole thing where they were trying to get the information, trying to pass the Sphinx's challenge.
Oh, yeah.
I really think that was when
And nobody
at the end,
cares
and they
about
did
you.
the song and
Okay, can we say something about the fucking songs just overall in general?
okay, no. Speaking of that, the song that they're playing whenever fucking they're fighting Kevdak and
Oh, yeah.
the herd, and
It's fucking
you
awesome.
have fucking Travis just growling rage. It's fucking great. I love it. But
yeah.
the songs are great.
The song, like Sam and his brother-in-law Peter Beebe are amazing. Obviously, there's the I forget what it's called in the first season, but it's the one at the dinner party where it's about the fucking the anal beads or whatever.
oh
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The very
Yes.
episode, yeah, that one's hilarious. He has all his little quippy songs that like they had the power ballad to emotionally damage the Sphinx. They have Making Their Way, which, obviously the what the hell is the name of the artist called? Is it Vanessa? Making My Way Downtown. I can't remember what her name is. It's something. But they kept saying, Matt kept saying, making their way every time. And they just started saying this. And it's like this in joke that they have now created these 2 really good songs. Like they have the Sam and Ashley version and the Laura like slow, like sad version. And then obviously the fucking death metal
Yeah, it was, that one was my favorite, but that's because I like that style of music. And then just to randomly hear Travis rage.
There was one other scene, and I thought it was kind of weird, but it felt so hype, but then, like, nothing happened. Grog's like, I would like to rage. And then, like,
after the
then,
Power
like,
of the Friends?
yeah.
Yeah.
Then, like, nothing happened.
Well, he didn't have any weapons or anything. He just, like, he raged and he just punched him. He's like, oh, well.
It was still hype, though.
Yeah.
There's some great one-liners
Yeah.
in that show, too, that I love. I'm kind of just in between weapons right now.
kind of just in between weapons.
Or when Umbrasyl's trying to eat Pike and like, you look like a snack. Well, chew on me, you fuck bucket. That's going. Fuck bucket is thrown in
Oh,
my
so good.
language now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at work and call somebody a fuck bucket, and they're probably
Listen
gonna
here,
be like, "What?"
fuck bucket.
All right. So the thing I was going to add was anything that we are disappointed with. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say disappointed because that seems so much worse than. But anything that didn't meet our expectations, I guess, for the show. Ethan, you're up.
It's hard to say. The Keyleth storyline I thought was really good, but I thought it could have been better. I thought it could have been done better. I thought that they didn't pay enough attention to her backstory on that. They did a little bit, but they didn't really touch on it too much. They just did the little scene where she's on the little balcony thing and talking to her mom and dad, and then it kind of just doesn't go any deeper than that. I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more, like maybe like another flashback, and I think it would have been almost there.
We will probably get one.
I would like to see more with the pyre, whatever it is.
The Pyra.
Pyra. Yeah, that's it. And I would like to see more with that, but I understand that there was some time constraint there because they're trying to stay within a certain episode limit.
Yeah.
But I think they could have devoted an episode to her
Probably.
instead of splitting it. Like, she was like 75% of that episode, and like the other 25 was a little bit about Vax. So whichever one it is.
One of the twins.
Yeah, like her and Vax have like their entire character arcs spanned the entire campaign. So theirs are a little bit more spread out. So you're probably not going to get as much.
Is he also multi-class paladin?
Yeah,
Like a rogue paladin warlock?
he's not a warlock. He is literally just a rogue paladin.
Really?
Yeah.
Fancy. But that's how you should do,
yeah.
like, that's how you should do warlock
Yeah,
patrons.
it's
so.
exactly essentially how.
You're up.
Oh, I'm up.
Yep.
I'm not. I don't know. It just kind of felt like this second season ended on like a downer note. Like, I don't know. I feel like that reveal was supposed to be a lot more impactful. That Keeper Unit had been replaced by Raishan. It kind of fell flat a little bit. I don't know why.
It didn't feel like the end of a season segue. It felt like the end of an episode segue.
Yeah, it felt like end of an episode cliffhanger, not the end of a season cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But that's because they know they've already been greenlit for season 3.
And I know that there's not really a better place to end the season.
Yeah.
Like, unless you were going to end it before that and have the third season start off with that. That's really the only thing I could think of. Like, end it at the Brussels fight and then have it start off. But that's
I think you
about
could end it with the Umbrasyl fight.
Yeah.
And then cut to Thordak and the other dragon. I don't know its name.
I still don't think that would have been
The Voragol.
really...
Voragol. Okay.
I still don't really think that would have been a really good place to cut it off
Yeah,
either.
it's just
But
that
don't
it's
even-
kind of a...
I mean,
I feel like that
I do.
reveal
I feel like you
would have
leave
been
Raishan out until the. Is it Raishan? Is that
Raishan?
Raishan.
Yeah.
However you say it. However you say it. Leave them out until the next season and start off with that, but still show the end of with Thordak and all the eggs.
Because now what it is, I'm going to have to go back once the next season comes out. I have to watch the last 3 episodes again just to pull myself into the next season. Not that I couldn't watch it, just to make sure I get the flow of the story correctly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because this all is like takes place within. I know it like on the material plane. It says they say like 3 weeks have passed or whatever. Because
Yeah. They were
Payroll
gone for
today.
3 days, but
But-
it was 3 weeks.
It's like a week of time that the actually like. So like it like many D&D campaigns, it just you fly through
Yeah.
at a breakneck pace.
That happens.
Yep.
And then we're on to me. My only like complaint / disappointment is at times the animation falls way short. There's times where it looks awful. I remember specifically seeing voices not matching faces. Like it'll be like a few seconds later. It's on minor scenes where they're literally just talking, so they're not dumping as much money, so they're not taking as much time on it. And because like the bigger fight scenes and everything like that all look beautiful. And then there's times where just the quality of them, even like if they're off to the side, their characters don't look as good as they will at times. And it's not like it happened a lot. It just happened enough for me to notice it.
I never noticed it, but
I probably will now. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
It's okay. Ruined it.
It, like I said, it was very few times, but enough to notice. It's also, I pay attention to that stuff.
it's one of the things that's going to happen though if they want to have a season every year.
Yeah.
They just don't have enough time and / money to dump into it. Maybe they will. Like maybe Amazon will increase the budget, and then they'll be able to get more animators and stuff to like help out with this stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah. Unsure. Well, that wraps everything up.
Are we not going to talk about?
No, we can save that for when it comes out,
Okay.
or closer to when it comes out.
Sure.
Mainly because we're at an hour and 6 minutes already.
Fair enough.
So time to pretty well wrap this episode up. And since if you made it all the way through this, you can do what you do on every episode. You can go to the link in the description and find links to our Discord, or you can go to anchor.fm/chaotically-nerdy and find links to our Facebook page and follow us there. You can comment on our post. I'm actually a little pissed off at Anchor because our last episode that got posted this Tuesday was something like the title was something stupid. And normally it will show the title. The title was Waterboarding Lot Lizards for D&D's new OGL. Normally whenever I post that, Anchor will, like the link will show the title. And so I made the comment about the link. About, with the title, it's going to be something stupid that we talk about today. And it didn't post it. It just posted like an Anchor link. And had no title. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit. But either way, it is what it is. Go talk to us on our Discord and tell us how stupid we are.
Yeah.
Mainly me.
Especially Tyler.
Yep.
Especially Tyler.
We appreciate you all listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Deuce.